SEO, which sounded black magic to me 2 years ago. I ran multi-million-pound Michelin star restaurants back in the UK, did a short stint with Gordon Ramsay as well.
You fucking donut.
I'd rather have a client telling you to F off rather than you thinking, oh, I've emailed him today. I think I might have to wait for another 2 weeks. I don't want to offend him. That for me is lazy salesmanship. Simply picking up phones or running lead gen campaigns wasn't giving us the ROI I wanted. We're all at the mercy of Google. Link building is dead. Links don't add any value, blah, blah, blah. People are still investing hundreds and thousands of pounds. We're still doing almost £500,000 of revenue every month.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode where I'll be interviewing SEO entrepreneurs and experts from around the world. In today's episode, I've got a very special guest for you today who has taken a fairly little known kind of link building agency to new heights within the industry, growing them to multiple millions of dollars in annual revenue per year. Please welcome to the show, Steven Khanna, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Charles. Yeah, thank you very much for the invite. Honored to be here.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Do you want to give people a bit of a background into who you are and who WhitePress is?
Yeah, sure. I look after the English markets in WhitePress. WhitePress primarily, we do link building. That's our bread and butter. We've obviously bought the messy world of, or we've tried to simplify the messy world of link building through our fantastic tool, which is an online platform. People go in, they have 100% transparency as to where they will be linking to, rather than just buying link packages and hoping to get lucky, and then half of it turns out to be spam. We've been doing that for 11 years. It was a Polish startup. Currently, we anywhere between a startup and a fantastic corpo. We operate in about 30 countries now, largest database on the planet and increasing. Over 200 people working for us, 12 physical offices just outside of Poland. Can't even name half of them because we keep opening offices every year. But yeah, guest posting, niche edits, SEO optimized content creation, all done through a couple of clicks on our platform. Yeah, been successful. I've been in WhitePress for a couple of years. Enjoyed my time. An absolute newbie, but loving every minute of it.
Well, it sounds like you've had a pretty awesome journey so far. I know that journey kind of began with you working in kind of hospitality and luxury restaurants. How did you move into SEO?
I know, mate. Everyone asks me that question. I'm still pinching myself 2 years into WhitePress that bloody hell, from opening wine bottles and selling, 100,000 pounds worth of bottles to now actually doing SEO, which sounded black magic to me 2 years ago. It's quite of a strange one because I moved to Poland 9 years ago from the UK. My missus is Polish. And then obviously with the lingo barrier here, not much we could do here. So I go into teaching, then go back into restaurants somehow with some of the local business here in Poland. Got sucked back into selling wines for a local Polish company. And then weirdly enough, we've got a little language exchange group here in that little town where I'm based. And my boss, Tom, the head of international growth there, he happened to run into me. We started talking, and after a couple of gin and tonics, he's like, you're going to come and work for WhitePress. But it took me 6 months and probably 8 meetings in the office to try and understand what is link building. What are we talking about indexing? What is do follow? What is no follow? To be honest, I gave myself 3 months. I actually didn't have high hopes. I said, right, fine, I'll do something different. Hopefully I might get lucky, but I loved it so much. The growth has been phenomenal. My market being the bottom of the ladder, to then within 9 months, we started being number one. My closest second competitor within WhitePress, which is the Eastern European market, they bring in about 150, 160,000 euros a month, and I'm beating them by double the margin. So loving it.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've been able to kind of jump in head first. And a lot of people get started in SEO, kind of jumping in from other career paths or kind of randomly being thrown into it. And they kind of just get that passion and thirst to just continually dedicate their lives. And I know how much time you spend on your phone and on your laptop and things with this company.
Oh, trust me. Trust me. But I think a lot of that comes from the long hours spent in the hospitality industry. I ran multi-million-pound Michelin star restaurants back in the UK. Did a short stint with Gordon Ramsay as well. This was when I was a spring chicken. This is 1998 when he had this only one restaurant in Hospital Road in Chelsea. Me fresh out of uni, bussing trays, standing right next to him before the bloke became a huge celebrity. So I think it was proper baptism with fire when it came to how to understand people's profiles to get what you really want without being deceptive, of course. And I think I've put in all of that philosophy into SEO, because for me, doing SEO or doing link building is just selling another product, really. As long as you understand the basics, you know how to foresee what might be an issue 2 months from now, 3 months from now, being honest with your clients, recommending at the right time. And that's exactly what we did in restaurants as well. And that's the biggest difference I've seen. Why I think I've been successful is me understanding my client 100%, even asking them questions when they actually haven't thought of it, wowing them with every simple conversation I've had. And what's happened that's how it's driven my business, where people have, of course, stayed with me for over a year, 2 years, but then they're very happily referring me to other big brands as well. And that's exactly how it used to happen in restaurants as well. I'm sure you eat out a lot, and a lot of times people don't go back just for the food. They go back for that amazing manager or that amazing wine sommelier or that fantastic waiter and say, you know what, let's go back to that restaurant because Steven looked after me so well. And now exactly this is how it is. When people do the referrals for me, they don't say WhitePress first. They say, go to Steven. He works for WhitePress. He'll look after you. It's the same philosophy I had in restaurants as well.
And that kind of follows really well into my next question, which is, I know that WhitePress sponsors events. They run events. I'm working with you guys on a couple of them. You have affiliates, you do webinars, you do a bit of paid media, you do SEO, you do video, you do social media. So how are you generating most of your leads for your clients? You said as well, you're having a lot of referrals as well. So how are you generating most of these leads, especially for the English markets at least, maybe not so much for the other markets?
Yeah, I figured that out quite early in my career within SEO and WordPress. That, again, going back to that messy world link building, where trust is such an important factor. No one trusts anyone. I still get hello dear, high quality links, all of that crap emails coming through. So for us to then simply picking up phones or running lead gen campaigns wasn't giving us the ROI I wanted. So literally in month 3, I said, I'm going to drop everything, save all that money. We're just going to go to conferences, and Brighton SEO being our first one. Why? Because I had to be face to face with all our potential clients, because I was confident the product we were offering in terms of the transparency, the turnaround times, the largest database, the amazing customer service, I wanted people to see and feel that passion. And for people to see and feel that, you got to be in touch with them. We human beings, we all have an emotional pull to everything we do, no matter how ruthless or cold we might come across in the world of business. But if you're saying the right things and you're doing the right things, people remember you, people like you. And my philosophy is quite simple. They first should like you. If they like you, they'll trust you. If they trust you, they'll give you their business. So what we did was, whatever marketing budget I had, I poured all into attending conferences, sponsoring them, but most importantly, having a booth there. And then on top of that, just sponsoring and having a booth is not going to do the trick. You need certain like-minded people on the booth where they're actually actively going out and talking to people. And I've told some of my biz dev managers, I said, I'd rather have a client telling you to F off and leave them alone, rather than you thinking, oh, I've emailed him today, I think I might have to wait for another 2 weeks, I don't want to offend him. That for me is lazy salesmanship. That is a lazy approach. You fall into a long line of businesses which are not performing. I've been in the world of business 23, 25 years now. I'm 48. So I'd like to think I know a little bit about how to convince people and sell stuff, considering, if you got a fantastic product, which we have. It's how you then relay that information. So kind of to answer that question, which you were asking in a more summarized manner, majority of it has always been conferences for the last year. And because of those conferences, I got all those leads, which were then converted and closed. People have been really happy. And now it's just referrals down the line. We do have an affiliate program in WhitePress anyways, but people won't refer you if they actually are not believing in what you're doing, because clearly their reputation's on the line when they refer you. Me personally, I haven't made a single cold call in the last 8 months, because referrals just come to me. Obviously, we do a bit more when we're entering the newest markets, like the Irish market. We've literally started. We've hired a new amazing biz dev manager, but we applying the same logic and the same approach. Where in June we'll be doing our first ever SEO Vibes event in Dublin. It came out that SEO is severely underdeveloped in Ireland. Link building tools, platforms really do not exist. So it's been a breath of fresh air when they find out that, oh, brilliant, that I love this platform. It saves so much of time. And currently we're having amazing conversations with some of the biggest tech brands there based in Ireland, some of the biggest agencies who all want to jump on the bandwagon. I even got a question asked yesterday. You know what? I'll launch you in Ireland. I want exclusivity of WhitePress, which was like, what? I've never heard of that ever. So, but it all comes down to active talking, actively, using Apollo Sales Navigator, having those constructive conversations, putting short-term goals in front of you. My business managers, they've got simple KPIs. They need to have quality conversations on a phone, 15 of them every day. There's simple as that. Otherwise, you know how it is, a sales funnel. The more you put in, the more it kind of comes out. So, but apart from the hard work, yes, the conferences help us a lot, and we'll continue to do that. I'm sure people see WhitePress popping up everywhere, pretty much in every conference.
So that repetitive brand exposure kind of from blitzscaling effectively and things. So
correct. Well, why reinvent the wheel? If something's working for you, keep doing it. Maximize that.
Yeah, 100%. It seems to be working. So are clients buying more links this year than kind of they have in the previous years?
It's a difficult one because the starting of the year is always a bit slower for us. January after holiday period, people are still kind of wrapping up last year, still putting in the approaches and the strategies in place. So January's been slightly weaker, but then the first 10 days of February, we suddenly saw that uplift again. However, we've seen the percentage change or the pivot we've seen, which I expected, to be honest, after 4 Google updates last year, is people are getting a lot into niche edits now, where, a page is already ranking, it's a no-brainer. You get the best value out of it rather than shooting in the dark and going for a guest post. And that's what we've also been trying to do, because I knew this is going to happen. So our groundwork started November last year, where we went back to all our publishers and convinced them to start doing niche edits as well, and then to get more publishers on board, so that we're ready when that demand comes in, which is happening now. So yeah, if people want to do niche edits, 5,000 of them every month. Not that I recommend that because it's a bit too much. We can look after the workload.
And now for a quick message from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. If you're looking for digital PR campaigns, what you're about to see should impress you.
High-tier backlinks in publications such as Daily Post, MSN, Birmingham Mail, and many more. Let me show you how we've done it. The campaign was pretty simple. We looked at the number of Instagram followers for each contestant in the Dancing on Ice show that aired in January. We sorted the contestants by the most popular ones. Now we've had the most influential Dancing on Ice contestant. Then we've also used an Instagram earnings calculator to calculate how much every contestant could make from one post on Instagram based on the number of their followers and engagement rate. Then we put these findings in a nice press release and an email, and we found the relevant journalists with a tool called Roxhill, where we looked at journalists who covered the show in the past 30 days and sent the findings and the press release to these journalists. And then the links started landing like this and this and this and many more. I hope this inspires and shows you that you can build links with simple and basic campaigns.
It makes sense as well, and you already kind of stated it there. You're shooting it out with guest posts because they could go live and give you no traffic, no signals, and there's all sorts of things around like orphan guest posts and things like that. Would you say that niche edits have kind of worked the best in terms of efficacy for clients as well? Then?
Yes. We've started doing monthly reports for all our clients, and in terms of moving the needle, since January this year, or probably I would say even December last year, we've seen that niche edits actually do the magic what people want. And once they see it does work, they're happily then, investing more money into it to climb up the rankings even quicker. Because with guest posts, as I was saying, you're shooting in the dark sometimes, and with more Google updates happening, when the progress slows down, so does their budget as well. But with niche edits, it all comes down to the ROI. What you're investing, how much you're getting out of it. So I'm very happy these days, maybe thankful to Google that all those updates happen, because for us, it doesn't matter whether people are spending on guest posting, digital PR, content creation, or niche edits, so yeah.
It all kind of funnels back to the pipeline anyway, right? Have you seen a real big effect from these Google algorithm updates? Have clients just kind of cut off budget overnight because they've been so scared of them, or are clients that wary of them, especially with these bigger brands?
Yeah, they are. Obviously, we do cater to some of the biggest brands, agencies in the world, one of them being TikTok, and I can easily take their name here. All of them have always, apart from the SEO minimum traffic of, I don't know, 3,000 on Hrefs coming from USA, UK, or minimum DR or DA of 30, they've always been concerned about traffic trend for the last 2 years of every website. And since the update, a lot of websites crashed, downward traffic trend, and for them, that's a red flag. They don't want to touch it at all. Has that made our life a little bit difficult? For sure, because a lot of the inventory then gets a bit useless. But again, we did foresee all of that happening, and very recently we did our custom outreach service that launched literally a month and a half, 2 months ago. So we've got a dedicated team where we're reaching out now actively to SaaS websites who've not been affected, and they do not do guest postings generally anyways, with fantastic quality content. And with that, because people are scared of not linking to standard guest posting websites, straight away the value of our links or those websites doubles. And which is true, because you got to convince more the publisher, because they're also scared, those SaaS websites, after the Google update, that shit, should I be connecting to this link or not? So obviously there's a lot more negotiations, pushback happening. But then, because the websites we now offer are extremely unique, where no other supplier has it, and I'm not saying we're going to charge stupid money here, but at least the profitability certainly increases, because people are happy investing that money, because for them, they still want to do link building, no matter what the SEO community or anyone says. Link building is dead, links don't add any value, blah blah blah. Seeing is believing for me, mate. People are still investing hundreds and thousands of pounds. We're still doing almost £500,000 of revenue every month. We'll continue to do that. But yes, it's been foreseeing things, pivoting, doing the groundwork earlier, so that we're not catching our tails. We're ahead of the curve, and that's what I have focused, at least for my English markets, since I've been here. I just don't want to be yet another link building agency or yet another link building platform, because everyone says the same thing. The largest inventory on the planet, we do this, we do that, but then truth's always in the middle. Is when you start running campaigns, how effectively are you delivering stuff? Order completion percentages. Some of our competitors, I know, if someone orders, I don't know, 50 links a month, they come back with 60% completion rate. Whereas we are market leaders, 88.9% is our order completion rate. But that does not happen without blood, sweat, and tears. The amount of times I've got to go back and beg my publisher, tell them stories or change content, whatever needs to be done. Yet we still have to be within our turnaround times of 72 working hours. That's another thing people love about us, is our turnaround times for links going live is best on the planet, 72 working hours. And it's not just one or two links, it's pretty much everything.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing that you've been able to get that process working for you properly there. You mentioned kind of something about the reality there, people increasing time for your like negotiations and things like that. That is, in my opinion, more of reactive to paranoia about the algorithm updates than it is reactive to actual reality about the algorithm updates, right? So would you say it's more so in kind of clients' heads than actually in the search and the reality?
Yeah. It surprises me, Charlie. There's a lot in that question you've asked. And I keep saying these are my baby steps into the world of SEO and link building up. Is link building part of SEO? Yes, it is. But, for me, SEO is what you do, what Kyle does, or what, other people do. For me, I still think I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to the world of SEO. But it shocks me. My jaw falls to the floor every time I'm having conversations with some big brands for link building, these big director of SEOs and all. They got bloody no idea how the link building industry works, and they just literally pawn off everything. They say, Steve, you've been doing it for 11 years, mate. You're the experts. We've never done link building. Get on with it and make sure that, the needle moves. That's why they, of course, in order to keep them updated, they obviously listen and read a lot of stuff. They go to webinars, YouTube channels are there. And SEO has always been an industry where it depends. A standard answer. Sometimes my family asks, so what do you really do? SEO. And I try and explain it to them, and they don't get it. So me and Andy, one of my colleagues at work, we now say we sell dreams. And they're like, what does that mean? We sell you a dream that you're going to start ranking very soon. Can any SEO on the planet, maybe apart from you, Charlie, because you're a genius, guarantee that what you want to get done within the world of SEO, ranking or a landing page, whatever? Can you guarantee it's going to happen? Of course not. We're all at the mercy of Google. However, people should use that as an opportunity, which we do. Is again, how do you convince that? How do you get rid of their fears? You provide case studies, you provide quotes from people like yourselves, the big SEO legends. And a lot of people didn't want to do no follow at all until I saw you, Kyle, Chris Pantelli, doing that case study where, hang on, if you're linking to quality websites, no follow would pass link choose. And then that's what I keep doing sometimes to close my clients or to upsell when they're very scared going ahead. But this is the truth, because you guys have done that case study. So I'm simply taking that reality and amplifying it to a broader spectrum here within WhitePress in order to get rid of their fears. But yes, it has been the case. It'll probably continue to be the case till the time SEO is alive and link building is going on. But I think us as experts, it's our job to convince people, to pacify them and say, a mixture of approaches, being sure where to how to kind of go ahead and make sure the landing page starts ranking. It's our job. It's exactly like you not being sure in a restaurant, do you want to go between lobster thermidor versus a fettuccine with whatever sauce, and it's the waiter's job then to convince the person by asking the right questions. If you ask the right questions, and I've noticed this a lot of times when people are scared, when I ask them a question which they've never asked, but it's somewhere in their subconscious, they actually don't even answer back. They said, you know what, mate, you asking me this question's actually answered my own fear. You know what? Tell me where to sign. Let me move ahead.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I think a lot of people will get a lot out of that in terms of how to sell their SEO services, because I know a lot of people in SEO really struggle when it comes to sales and dealing with clients and leads and things like that. So is there anywhere where people can find you online?
Yes, obviously on LinkedIn, Steven K, where they could find me, or just go onto the WhitePress website as well. We obviously have our WhitePress YouTube channel as well, and you'll probably see my ugly face there across a number of videos. But if not, then guys, you'll probably see me in millions of conferences this year and next year as well. So yeah, we'll be happy to have a chat and have a coffee or a G&T. And lastly, if people still haven't booked for the top conferences of 2024, we're holding one next week in Dubai. Charlie, you're going to be there as well. AI, SEO, luxury meets education. Apart from the standard knowledge nuggets people will be taken away and the fantastic networking, we've spoiled people. There's a pre-event yacht party. There's an after party on the beach. It's happening at the best hotel in Dubai on the Palm, which is the 5. So literally, this is SEO magic. This is top of the tree, even though it's the first year we're doing it. But this is something where people would be talking about SEO Vibes Dubai in the years to come. I think we'll be setting standards next week.
100%. I can't wait for it to happen. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.